Welcome back. Welcome back. We're joined by special guest on the right, Spencer Dinwiddie, here today. But we are ranking the top 10 contenders in the NBA so far this season, who we think is going to be the order of who's going to really compete. We have a couple honorable mentions to start off. Not going to delve into those guys, but guys that just missed the cut. We're going with Miami Heat solely for the fact that their seeding is just going to be a problem. I know last year they were an 8 seed that made it to the finals. I don't think that's going to happen again.
You did
But
this
hey,
last year too.
true. If they prove me wrong again, then so be it. But as of right now, I can't have them there based on seeding. Another team is the Lakers and Warriors, just too far back in the seeding. That's really the only reason why I don't think either of those teams are going to be able to make a push. But we'll start at 10. It's the bottom of this is still kind of in that same way, but I have the Cavs at 10, playing just very inconsistent basketball, albeit very injured at the moment. But they're still in the 3 seed, 1 game back of the 2 seed. So as long as they stay on the other side of the bracket from Boston, they have a shot to win it. What is your guys' feelings on the Cavs right now?
Them boys are hooping. JA is really holding it down. I'm very proud of Jared Allen right now. Spida, being available will be big for those cats. And I think that they have an opportunity to, second round, but you're going to have to prove the third round too.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of teams in the East, whoa. Unlike a lot of teams in the East, I feel like they're completely built. They're built well. I don't know if they're built for the playoffs, but they have a pretty well-rounded roster. Good defenders, good ISO scorers, good coach, good interior defense. So if anyone is going to make a sneaky playoff push in the East and go deep, I'd put my money on the Cavs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think last year is just kind of stuck in most people's brains, but every year is a new year. You have to take last year with some context for sure, but also you have to realize that it's a new season. And hey, I hope the Cavs do well as a Cavs fan, but I mean, there's definitely points where I'm watching them right now and being like, this offense is so insanely hard to watch consistently, but we also don't have our best player, so that changes everything. And he should be back fully healthy come playoff time, but just let him get some rest. Tough stretch here, but we'll move on to number 9. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I know they should probably be higher on this list. It's just because Karl-Anthony Towns is going to likely miss the first round and is unsure going forward for the second round afterward. He's getting reevaluated in a month from when his injury was. So that's going to take him into the playoffs. And the West is so tight and so competitive right now that a team in the 6 seed is not far off skill level and from the 3 seed. Like the 1 through 10 is all pretty even. There's obviously some teams that are better, but I mean, the T-Wolves are probably going to end up with the 3 seed, maybe anywhere from 1 to 3, but you're going to get a Dallas, a Phoenix, a LA, or a Golden State in the first round. So like, I don't know what to do there. Those teams are also very strongly built. So what's your feel on the T-Wolves? And do you like them at 9?
This isn't even a homer comment. This is just me being accurate. Naz Reid averaging 28 when Cat's down on the year. I think he's poised to step up big. As much as we make our Naz Reid jokes on here, I think he fills the role great. I think they're a little bit low on your list. I'm going to have to see the rest of the list for this week. Ant's been playing on another level, playing like the best player in the league the last couple weeks. I don't see that slowing down at all. I see, if anything, it getting better. He played great in the playoffs last year. Rudy, as much as we give him slander as well, has been playing great weak side D. Been a force in the middle, stopping teams from driving. If he's not getting blocks, he's changing their offensive strategy. And they have shooters too. I really think Naz steps up, and they're arguably this isn't accurate, but some metrics would point to them being a better team when Karl-Anthony Towns is hurt.
I would say defensively, actually no, because Naz Reid is not good at defense. If you look at the numbers, he's not great. As much as we all love Naz, he's not the best defender, and he can tend to get
Hollywood.
But Cats actually had a sneaky, like really good defensive season, and I think their offense, I would say, is a little bit worse, but it's remotely the same because they play a similar role. I would say Naz is a little bit more attacking than Cat is in some way.
He
like
gets
off
downhill a little better.
Yeah, while Cat's more of a post option and it's a better 3-point shooter. But I mean, in totality, I think the offense stays remotely the same. But the defense is going to take a hit. And it's just tough because as good as Nas is, Karl Anthony Towns is a little bit better, and it just takes the pressure off Ant if you have a guy like that.
100%. I like the cat, Nikhil Alexander Walker, very tough. Same thing with Slow-Mo. I feel like those guys are the ones that you can count on in regards to defense and, really, really helping your cats rebound and push the ball in transition, get it to Ant, whatever it is it may be. Ant is having his best season yet and arguably his best stretch of this season so far. And I'm excited to see where they get, headed after the first round, and what they can do in the first round.
Yeah, and with March Madness starting at the time of us recording this, I mean, it's just like the NBA playoffs is going to be like that. I know it's not a one and done thing, but the league from top to bottom is wide open. It's like there's obviously clear favorites, but it's wide open. Moving on to number 8, however, the Dallas Mavericks. I think their defense worries me in the playoffs long term, but as you know, they get kind of exposed when the pace is being pushed, and Luka and Kyrie do a great job of controlling the pace, but there's times when they turn it over where they can just get out and run. And that's the Mavs' biggest issue. Their defense is really, really poor, but with the way Kyrie and Luka have been playing as of late, it's just tough to pick against these guys. And having 2 top 25 guys, 1 top 5 guy automatically puts you, in my mind, into championship contention. And we've seen Luka do it in the playoffs with worse teams, and this could be the best team he's ever had around him. So I'm excited as long as they can rebound and just not allow second chance points and be an efficient offense. Yeah, I mean, they have a shot, and I think they could even sneak out of this play-in tournament. And if they get out of that, then it might be clips for who's ever seen them in the first round.
I wouldn't want to have to beat them 4 times in a row.
Definitely.
Me either. I think that the addition of Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington is really going to help you out defensively and offensively. You got a couple more cats that you could kick out to really run the pick and roll with and have some big bodies there, while Luka can, operate from the perimeter. I feel as if that will definitely come in handy. Shout out to Derrick Jones Jr., a spark plug for those cats when you need that extra boost of energy in the playoffs, kind of like a Malik Monk.
Yeah, I also think come playoff time, your defense gets elevated no matter what. So just with the pace slowing down. So as long as they can be successful in the half court on defense, and don't turn the ball over, they'll be fine. And their offense is so good that it doesn't really matter. But moving on to a team that I was was very high on early in the season, we all kind of were, but they've been playing a little bit of suspect basketball as of late. Los Angeles Clippers. They're slipping down the standings, and there's teams that they're going to probably play, like the Pelicans in the first round, who are playing their best ball of the season, while the Clippers are probably playing their worst, except for when they first traded for Harden. But it's not that far off. So the Clippers, I mean, they have the veterans, they have guys that have been there in the playoffs before, they have championship guys like Norman Powell and Kawhi, championship winning coach in Ty Lue. They have all the pieces. It's just a matter of, can they put it together come playoff time? Because they've never done it before. So that's my only real concern with them right now. And they're going to get a tough first round matchup and then probably have to play either OKC or Denver in the second round if they win in the first round. And then it's really tough from there. So
I'm pretty off the Clippers now.
You were
Really?
very high on them. You were higher than me.
Like a month or 2 ago, I was, but I watched them play.
Like a month ago?
I don't remember who it was. No, this is like
You
2
saw
weeks
them
ago. I
play
watched the
versus
game on
them.
TV. I don't know. I've said it before. They have 10 closers and nobody can close games out. I don't know how that works in the playoffs. You get good defenders, but they're dinosaurs. So,
and I guess adding to that, you make up for it in offense, and when those cats can get on a run, very hard to stop. Specifically, Kawhi, James Harden, and then I feel like you got plenty of guys that you plug into that offense that can give you big time production. Shout out to Norman Powell. Shout out to Bones Highland. Terrence Mann is going to hold it down when he's on the floor. I think that playoff time come around, the majority of those cats are so experienced in the playoffs that they know what it takes to, play at that level, at that speed, and I think they know how to manipulate that, so they'll be all right.
Part of me also doesn't want to buy into it. I feel like with guys like that who are all veterans who have made deep runs before, you're kind of taking the foot off the gas here, saving yourself for the first round or saving yourself for the playoffs or whatever it may be. So who knows? They could flip the switch. And
True, but this is what they've kind of done every year. I mean, normally they start slower and pick it up toward the end, but Tyloo before the season said he was going to put an emphasis on the playoffs or on the regular season, and it was like that for a while. They were the 1 seed at one point or tied for it, but it's just not looking like that right now. My only other concern is, as good as all the guys on their team are, they're just also all very consistent and inconsistent, and not getting consistent production from your 4, 3, whatever many stars you want to quantify is not great, and it's a little concerning come playoff time. But moving on to 6, the New York Knicks just beat Golden State without OG Anunoby, who's also hurt again. So that's a little concerning. Julius Randle is still out, and no clear signs of when he's coming back at this moment. So that's a little concerning, but Jalen Brunson's been on an absolute heater. Josh Hart's been getting triple-doubles left and right, it feels like. And Dante DiVincenzo.
He's playing 48 minutes.
Yeah, and Dante DiVincenzo is doing his thing. McBride's hooping, just guarded Steph really well that game. And I like what I'm seeing. They're 2.5 games out of the 2 seed right now. So it's very likely that they can push for that, because the Bucks do not have the easiest schedule left in the world, and neither do the Cavs. So it's definitely possible the Knicks can make a run. It's just a matter if they can stay healthy themselves and continue to keep on winning.
And I'll just say this, everything what my brother just said, but Jalen Brunson, I'd say he's the best point guard in the East. And
I saw that.
And
I agree. I'm trying to think who would we put ahead, but yeah, I think he's the best.
But let's clap it up for that and his leadership and all that comes with that, and what he's able to do, with his not full arsenal, being Julius Randle, OG, some cats that really pack some oomph that you'll need in the playoffs. I think that he'll still have what it takes to, possibly get to the second round again.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks are solid. I mean, I think they're the 3rd best team in the Eastern Conference right now. The only thing that I can't put them higher on this list is just simply because of their seed. Because if you have to play Boston in the second round, it's not going to be good. I just can't.
I think they can bully Boston. They can be physical with Boston though.
They definitely can. I think it would be a tough series, but I just can't see a world where Boston doesn't win it, to be honest.
I can.
But
in the Garden,
which one?
Which one?
Madison, boy.
But moving on to the Pelicans at number 5, definitely a first edition on the tiers, or on the contenders power rankings, and they're playing excellent basketball right now. Like really, really good ball. Everything just seems to be clicking for them. And right now they have a pretty solid path coming into the playoffs if the season were to end today. I know it's all very close and teams are going to fluctuate, but I mean, they're sitting at the 5 seed, 1 game back of the 4. So even if they don't jump the Clippers, which all signs indicate that they're going to, but even if they don't jump the Clippers, they get to it's 4-5 versus the Clippers, and I like how they match up against them. They have the length and size to be able to compete with the Clippers, and they have the ability to go small against the Clippers, which is their best offensive strategy. And then in the second round, if the season ended today, you're getting the Thunder if they win their first round matchup. And I mean, the Thunder have never been in this position like for an extended period of time with expectations. So, I mean, neither of the Pelicans, to be fair, but like I could see the Pelicans beating the Thunder in a 7-game series, and I wouldn't put it past it to happen. I still would think I would pick the Thunder, but I mean, Zion would have a field day.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger and stronger.
They are, and I believe that just like I just said, Jalen Brunson, Zion is also one of those cats who can take control of the game, has a magnificent IQ, is going to get to the rim, is going to control the pace of the game. I think that that's what, really, makes New Orleans just as dangerous, just because you have guys, who are going to show up defensively, Herb Jones, and then folks who can knock down the three ball, Trey Murphy, GTA, CJ McCollum, any of those cats on the floor, they're definitely going to step up big time. And that's something to watch out for. The only teams that I could see really giving the Pelicans a run for their money are like the veteran led teams that will be playing in the play-in, like LeBron, Curry. I would just watch out for experience. But I think they have the big bodies, and I think that they have the shooting to be able to stand up in it.
Matchup wise, if I'm the Thunder, I think the Pelicans are the last team I want to play. Now that I'm thinking about it, 1-for-1.
As a
Yeah,
fact.
I mean, you wouldn't want to see Denver just because of everything that comes with Denver, but like out of everyone else, I would say yeah, probably. Or the T-Wolves, one of those two. But I mean, the Pelicans would have it would be offensive scoring out the wazoo in that series to me.
That's a fact.
But moving
And they
on,
could lock up. They could lock up the scores too.
Yeah, they could.
The
But
Pels
they're
are built.
But the outside of that, the perimeter defense is a little light. Their interior is strong, but shorter. Like Jonas Valanciunas is a strong motherfucker, and so is Zion. But whoa,
6'6".
Zion's small, and Jonas is not much of like a vertical leaper. They just don't have like a true shot blocker, which is the only thing that's concerning. But moving on, number 4, the OKC Thunder. Have to give them their respect. They're the 1 seed, and they have, in my opinion, the MVP of the league this season. So, I mean, if they get home court for the entire Western Conference, I don't see many teams beating them, to be fair. I could see worlds where they lose in the first round. I could see where they make the finals. Like, that's where I'm on this team. I don't really know what to expect, but I can't put them ahead of Denver in the Western Conference right now just because they won, they've done it, they know what it takes. Well, the Thunder are kind of coming into this a little bit blind.
100%.
I also hate the matchup for Oklahoma City playing Denver. I feel like they get pulverized down there.
Yeah. I think that OKC is looking real nice. Like when I look at their team, I see assassins, and every night those cats are gonna go out on the floor and get surgical. Pass the ball. Stick to fundamentals of basketball. They pass the ball really well, and they like to execute really well. I'm pretty sure they're leading the league in 3-point percentage, and that's a big thing in regards to how you hold your own in the playoffs. And I think that that's what's going to make the difference, regardless of the little to no experience being in the playoffs for those players over there.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where you have the ability to get a little bit feasted with size and physicality inside, but on the flip side, you're able to stretch the floor 5 out, where teams like the T-Wolves are going to have Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid out on the perimeter, which is easy pickings for guys like Jalen Williams or Chet. So you have that, or bringing a Jokic out where he might not want to be, and beating him off the dribble because he's not the fastest guy in the world. But the Thunder have matchup problems and beneficiaries. So that's that. But moving on to number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. This team we were all very low on for a long time, and it seems like they're starting to figure it out in the best way possible right now. Giannis is hurt at the moment, but not anything serious. Not anything serious or long term. But Damian Lillard's starting to figure out his jumper back, and they just played the Celtics last night. No Giannis, and they lost by 3. So if that gives you anything to kind of be hopeful for, you would think with Giannis you have a better shot to win that game. And I just think that they wouldn't. The only team that would be ahead of them is the Boston Celtics, and they don't really have the size to deal with the Giannis on a consistent basis, besides like Al Horford. So Giannis is going to dominate if they were to play in the playoffs, and I'm excited to see it because I think that will eventually happen. However, it's for right now, I can't pick against the Celtics. They're just honestly too good of a team right now.
Bucks fans, don't get mad at me. You're allowed to hate me just as much as I hate you. I got a flu game going on right now, pissing out of my ass. Got a fever right now, strep throat, and I hear Giannis is injured, and it still gets me screaming. So you're allowed to hate me just as much as I hate you. All good.
This guy. It's gonna be an interesting sight when all those cats are on the floor. Chris Middleton included. Look out, Dame time, Pat Bev. Like I don't. That's really all I have to. Bobby, y'all saw Bobby with 31 crash out. Come
Dude,
on,
the way he calls for the ball is so funny. But the Bucks are playing good ball, and I'm excited to see where they go for the rest of the season. Hopefully lose a few more games so the Cavs can get back to the 2 seed. But moving on to number 2, the Boston Celtics. They just can't be won at the moment after.
Love how you put this together.
But I mean, I just think that Boston, to me, is the best team in the NBA right now, but they are not the number 1 contenders because they always seem to do something wrong when it comes to playoff time and they fold. And I don't think this is the year they fold. However, I can't do it and put them at 1 until I see it. They've been 1 on this list before, but right now I can't do it. They've played too many sketchy games as of late. They've ended up winning, but it's kind of like the Eagles where you're 11-0 or whatever, 11-1, but you've played every game within 1 score. So it's not looking good going forward. But I still think they're by far and away the best team in the Eastern Conference. And if they don't win the East, it's a massive, massive failure.
That's what everybody's saying. I'll keep it simple like that. If you don't win, it is what it is. So
I don't want to put something out there about Tatum as an avid Tatum hater. I saw a video of LeBron talking about how he's didn't win till he was 27. Curry didn't win till he was however old. Blank didn't win until how they were however old. Whatever. Tatum's only 25. I don't care. He's still a bum. I'm fully expecting them to slip between the cracks a little bit. They're a crumble squad on my radar, and I think they're a second-round exit.
Wow. If that happens, that'd be wild. But
to the Chicago Bulls. No.
Moving on to number 1, Denver Nuggets, obviously defending champs, playing some of the best ball in the NBA right now. 11-2 or 12-2 since the All-Star break. The one loss was to Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. And then the second one was off that Kyrie game winner, which was unbelievable. But, I mean, this team just, as long as they're in the top 2 seeds, I don't see a world where they don't make the conference finals. I don't care who they play. It could be anyone. I think they will return to the finals because they, to me, are the most seasoned and complete team in the Eastern Conference or in the Western Conference and in the NBA. So I'm excited to see what Denver's got. They got the other MVP, so we'll see. But I'm very high on Denver at the moment. They just do all the little things really well. What?
I'm very high on Denver. Yeah, you got to respect the champions till they lose, and they're built to last. They didn't have too much of a core change since last year, except for Brucey B, flu game. And, yeah, you got to respect the champions till they lose.
Hell no.
But yeah,
you love that, dude.
That's the 3rd iteration of Contender Power Rankings. We'll be back next Friday with another one. You guys seem to be enjoying this as much as you've been enjoying the TOTs. So subscribe, like, give us a comment where you think your team should be, where you think teams should be higher, lower, whatever. But like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.